And we're live.
Welcome. Thank you once again for hanging out with us. This is the IT and the D Show, episode 393, broadcasting live from our quarantined homes. This is Bob the Sales Guy. That is Dave the Geek. Randy at Do the Twitters is doing the Twitters. And you can find us online at itandthed.com. And do us a favor, give us a like on the socials and subscribe to us everywhere fine podcasts are sold.
Yeah, and this is where we usually talk about events, and I keep saying we're going to wait and see what's going to happen, and what's happening is numbers are skyrocketing, and shit's getting bad again. In fact, I had a little chat with our old buddy, the Dr. Doom and Gloom, Fred, today, because I had a couple questions for him because my daughter wants to do swim team, and I was like, yeah, how stupid is that? And the answer is, no, we're not doing that. But so yeah, we're not worried about events just yet. We're just not.
Chlorine doesn't kill the Rona.
Well, more to the point, yeah, but see, then they got to hang out in the locker rooms. And oh, by the way, she does the relay race, which is everybody standing on the platforms that are like a foot apart from each other, and the whole line of people behind you waiting to go their turn at both ends of the pool and all that crap. So yeah, we're good. We
can do it in Florida. Everything's open.
Well, yeah, I'm sure if she wanted to go to Ohio, she could do it. But I'm not as dumb as the school district here has been throughout everything else. We got what 300 plus kids in quarantine currently. No, good, no, happy.
Yeah,
that's a lot of kids.
Yeah, a lot of. But I was Matt Roush was saying earlier that Lawrence Tech just announced they went back to fully virtual and shut down their classrooms for at least the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Craziness.
Madness.
Yeah, I got a text from my beloved corner bar. It said, how you feeling? I said, fine, why? And I said, well, they had like 25 cases and they shut down for the weekend. And I'm like, that's phenomenal.
Thanks
for ordering a case of Bärenjäger for me that I'm not going to drink for a year.
Yeah, no, I would let that sit there for a while. Or bring it home and then Lysol the crap out of it and let it sit in your garage for a while.
Yeah, speaking of crap, there's like 17 stories this week on poop and sewage. So I don't know what the hell's going on this week.
So first off, just on a COVID note, it was a sad note. I've actually met the guy before. The Clinton Township Chief of Police died last week of complications from COVID. And I almost feel bad making a little joke about it. But he was just about to retire. The old Danny Glover line. I was 2 weeks away from retirement. He's like 3 months away from retirement, but still. But yeah, so the crazy thing about the story that I shared out last night. And I said, pardon the pun, but this is the shit that scares me. So they do testing in the sewage treatment plants for COVID levels, and they try to detect it there and that kind of stuff. And they said, basically, based on that, the levels here in Macomb County, and they specifically mentioned Clinton Township, are about 5 times higher than are actually being reported.
So how did that come about where someone said, I want to see how bad the Rona is. Let's test poop. Like, is that a thing?
Dude, Fred was talking to us about that 6 months ago.
Oh.
That might have been one of the ones you took a nap during. Don't worry about
it. Once it got into like 2:30 in the morning, I started
Yeah, it might have been one of those. No, but so that's the thing. And like, honestly, like kind of the weird part, because I went back and took a look at some of the old show notes and some of the old transcripts. That was, so apparently not only do they examine sewage samples, but there are some places that keep them around for a while. And so like when he was talking to us about it, one of the things that came out was that they detected COVID in old samples from Italy, like as far back as 2017. Which was just weird. So that was the whole discussion about, okay, well, what
4-year-old Italian poop?
A lot of people keep it's the spice Milan. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, so that's a thing. They are testing shit out, or they're testing shit. Literally. And it's not good. I personally know quite a few people that have popped positive for the first time over the last couple of weeks. In particular, both my kids just recently quarantined because kids in there, like I just said, 300 kids. in their school have or are under quarantine. I think it's like 25 or 30 cases that are actually active. But yeah, I mean, I people are getting dumber and getting a lot more lax about stuff. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of tweaking me out a little bit. I feel like people are getting lulled into a false sense of security because, oh, there's vaccines out, so everything's fine. Nope. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. And the numbers aren't too alarming yet. But I was actually just talking with Jer from Daily Detroit earlier today. And that's one of the things I was telling him, because one of the things I was yakking with Fred about was it's more than 100, but it's less than 200. I can't remember exactly what the number is that he said, but it's somewhere in that range of people who have been fully vaxxed for greater than that 2-week period of time that you're supposed to wait before you get cocky, and have wound up hospitalized with COVID. So not just had it, but wound up having it bad enough that they wound up in the hospital with it. And so that's the other thing is this variant, particularly, I mean, there are multiple variants floating around, but particularly this 117 variant is super virulent and contagious among kids. And it is also nastier when you get it as an adult. So, that's why, we've got a mutual friend who's a school teacher in my district. And it was almost inevitable that he was going to pop positive, and he did. And he did not have a good time with it. It was not an enjoyable thing. So, I mean, it's just, people, this is not the time to stop wearing masks. This is not the time to start being stupid. Like I love the fact that, the city of Detroit basically came out today and said, look, numbers are going through the roof again. If you are over the age of 16, here's the number you call for a same day appointment. Oh, and by the way, if you don't have tickets to the damn opening day game, keep your ass out of the city.
Yeah, even the governor today said, don't turn away anybody who shows up for a vaccine. Like, don't worry about any qualifiers or age or anything like that. If they show up and you have it available, give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the queue now, but initially we were, fill out the questionnaire and said, yeah, nope, not you. Wait, gotta keep waiting. So I'm like, all right, I'll keep waiting.
I got vaccinated Thursday.
Really, dude, I'm like not for nothing, but with all the shit that you've got going on and you've had going on, I would have thought they would have bumped you.
They don't ask. It's age, it's job, it's there's like 4 questions. I'm in the queue now, so yeah.
I had to drive all the way to Bridgeport to get mine, but I did get it.
I told you, go to Frankenmuth. Get your chip
Apparently, one of our viewers and listeners, Chris, hey, Clinton Township checking in. Chris, you're in the neighborhood. We should get together for a drink sometime. Had his first vax this morning, and now he's going to think twice about whatever he flushes from now on.
Send it to the place that screens, just the shoebox.
Oh, the colon test? Yeah.
Yes, poop in the shoebox. And then mail it to people.
Right.
Speaking of which, speaking of poop, the serial pooper's been caught downriver now. We can all rest knowing that he's off the streets. So usually, Beck, throughout course of our show, there's been many serial poopers.
There's been multiple serial poopers, and that's always the scariest part.
Most of them would poop down children's slides,
or
in the middle of the night.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. This one would stop cars in the middle of the road and then just drop trow and then poop in front of the car while non-moving vehicle, and then run away. So yeah, he's been caught.
Was it Southgate, if I recall correctly?
Riverview.
Sorry.
So he said he dropped trow. Whoever writes this stuff, it's got to be all kids writing this shit now. No pun again. He dropped right in front of just a full carload of people. Yeah, then this is the funny thing again. This is WWJradio.com. It says he's arrested for disorderly conduct and considered a suspect in several other public pooping incidents. Like, and then that passes the editor.
Like, is that the guy who was like, I don't know, wasn't a couple of weeks ago? Didn't we have a guy that was like pooping in cars at a car dealership?
Yeah, it's the last month. Police in Warren said they were trying to find a man caught on camera pooping in vehicles at 2 different auto shops. That's another thing. Like, I gotta take a grumpy. There's a parked car right there at this auto shop. I'm gonna sit in the driver's seat like that. I don't get it. It reminds me of one of the funniest stories. The Post Bar back in the day used to have a gravel parking lot across the street, the one in Grosse Pointe. And
yeah,
we come home, and the next morning, my mom's like, I think I was 22, maybe. I was still living at home, and she goes, "You have poop on your shoes." I'm like, "Oh no, I'll go clean it." She goes, "It's human poop," and I go, "A, I know."
How do you know?
You get to a mother to know the difference between dog and human, and two, because someone must have like sat up against my car in that gravel unlit parking lot.
Someone.
Yeah, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me, but like I'm like someone had
probably Tulio, or actually it was probably Tad. Would be.
Well,
my
if you've
guess.
ever seen the bathroom at that place, like you'd understand why.
Oh yeah, it's like the one at the Kit Kat Club, for the love of Christ.
Oh, that was when I found out that that men do not leave a dirtier bathroom than the other sex of people. That I won't name. No, that I won't name. The bar back is like you need to see this, DJ Bob. I'm like, no, I don't. I will take your word for it. Yeah, the bad things, very bad things.
So hey, couple things that I know that I saw that I loved. So I am a huge fan of the show Lucifer. After dropping the first part of season 5 last year, everybody's been basically like that Dave Chappelle meme going, "Yo, man, you got any more of that Lucifer episodes?" And they finally announced that season 5B is dropping on May 28th. So still a 2-month wait, but at least there's a date out there, and I can get my Lucifix.
So did you see the Adventures of Bucky and Papa Doc episode 2?
Dude, I am loving what Falcon and Winter Soldier is doing. Like, so they could not possibly be any more in your face about the whole like Black Lives Matter situations with police. I'm loving it. Like I the first episode they kind of took a smack upside gave a smack upside the back of the head to the banking and financial industries. This time they gave a nice smack upside the back of the head to the police departments and police forces. And on top of that, they're just good stories.
Well, I was like that one scene. I was like, "Oh my god!" And the guy's like, "Oh my god, I recognize him." And it was like, "Oh, that's a little cringy."
Well, and that was the point. Like you're you're a scumbag asshole until I realize who you are, and now it's cool.
It was me in the back room at the Post Bar when the Red Wings were back there. I'm a jerk off, and then that's DJ Bob. He's cool. Oh, hey, buddy. Hey. The one thing though, I've been watching. As I do, I watch the Easter egg videos afterwards. It's amazing how many nods they're giving to the comics.
Tammy, what the hell did you think we were talking about, Tammy? Like
Bucky and Papa Doc.
It's Bucky and Papa Doc. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how many nods and acknowledgments they gave to the comics.
Yeah.
In characters, sub-characters, plots.
Oh, so let me guess, you're still deep diving on those Easter egg videos?
Yeah. These don't make me mad. No, these ones don't make me mad. I understand. Everyone's been. I told you this has started back in The Mandalorian.
I remember.
These don't. Only WandaVision made me mad. These are fine. Even though I did find out there's a weird grandma character in the Snyder Cut Justice League that I had no idea who it was, and apparently she was written into the books like way back when they showed Darkseid, and then there was someone to his left, and there was a woman to his right with short hair.
Okay.
And apparently it was like Granny Smith Apples was her name, or something really off the wall bizarre. Then they showed like the back catalogs of everything she was written into.
So apparently we have a nice 1-2 punch so Ian would like us to know that Bucky is apparently now a Disney princess, and then Tammy pointed out that he's got the best smoky eye of all the princesses.
But I think this is what 6 or 8 episodes, but they're
6.
This is about as action packed as anything. If this was a movie, this would have been a legit movie.
I would have said the same thing about WandaVision. I mean, dude, the production values are absolutely insane. Greg is coming into the comments to nerd check you. I'll let him finish before I bring it up.
What I mess? I know I messed something up. I'm not. How bad did I do it?
Granny goodness.
I was close. Granny Smith Apples.
Yeah, you're great. Oh, she was in Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, and then Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Anyway, we didn't watch the cartoons, Greg. I'm sorry. We did.
I'm starting to now. They're actually really good.
So have you ever? I think we talked about this at one point. Did you ever go back and watch Clone Wars and Rebels?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I watched all. No, I was watching them as they were going.
Oh, okay.
They weren't must-see TV. I had them all on DVR, and I'd blow through 2 or 3 on a weekend.
Gotcha. So I ignored them when they were out. But I still get whatever the third one is. I still can't.
Don't. It's not worth it.
I did. I loved Clone Wars. I loved Rebels. That third one, whatever the hell it was, I just
Resistance.
I couldn't.
It's very young adult or even small child.
I tried. So yeah, there was Lucifer.
Speaking of Clone Wars, and we didn't talk about this, and I didn't shoot it over. Disney's adding the 2003 Clone Wars. The
Genndy Tartakovsky. Oh yeah, we didn't put that on the list. Duh,
that's coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's coming out on in April, right?
April this weekend, I think.
And for those who don't know, and we've actually talked about that version on the show before. So Genndy Tartakovsky, the guy who did, Dexter's Laboratory is probably what everybody knows him from, but he did a bunch of other stuff. Actually did something called Clone Wars for I believe it was the Cartoon Network back in the day, and they were like little 2 and 3 minute clips that aired between shows, kind of like Adult Swim does sometimes with stuff. And it was, and there it's I think there's a total of like 2 hours and 12 minutes of content because it was out on YouTube for the longest time, and you could just watch them all spliced together there on YouTube. And when Mark shot that link across Bob, I was like, that was my first thing I did. I went and looked on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, what a surprise. It's gone now. But yeah, it's phenomenal. It's a great watch, especially because they basically made it non-canon when they did the Clone Wars, because it's just called Clone Wars. So they made it non-canon when they did the Clone Wars. But it's funny to like go back and watch that and see which story elements and which characters they picked out of it, and which plot lines they picked out of it, and which things they left alone, because there are some differences. I thought it's a great story, and like I said, it's only 2 hours long. So it's it's divided into 2 segments if I recall correctly. There's part 1 and part 2. And it's absolutely worth the watch. It's a really good, enjoyable story, even just standalone by itself.
They did announce the cast of Kenobi today.
I saw that.
Confirmed Hayden Christensen,
and supposed to start filming next month.
Yeah, confirmed Dinesh from Silicon Valley. I'm trying to think. Well, he got all buffed out because I think he's a superhero. Oh my God, it's going to drive me nuts. What some movie he's in got cast in, and he had to get ripped. So he got like Brad Pitt ripped.
Yeah, buff.
Yeah. And then, and no, I'm not going to spend $30 to rent the Black Widow movie. That's just not going to happen.
Black Widow and Cruella are both coming to, so they adjusted a lot of their release dates. And I guess Black Widow and Cruella are now coming straight to Disney Plus Premium or whatever the hell they're Disney Plus on theater release day, and you can I think it's $30, and I'm like, no, I'll wait the month or whatever it's going to take me to wait before you nope, I'm good. I'm not in that big of a rush to watch it. I'm cool.
Yeah, yeah. There's this goes back to the last Blockbuster. I finally got a chance to sit through that entire thing.
It's so good.
Yeah, but it's like, you remember back when movies, the reason why Blockbuster, they're like, why wasn't there a music store for this or a bookstore other than the library? But like, here's why. And I go, and I totally forgot that movies were $100 when they first came out.
Yeah.
Because movie execs said, well, if you take a family of 4, that's going to be $5, $5, $5, and you watch twice more.
Plus this, plus that, plus the other thing. Yeah.
But it's funny. The best part about it was why they died and Netflix survived. They were ahead of they were doing the mail-in stuff. They were neck and neck. They were ahead of Netflix. Netflix had capital. They didn't.
Yep.
And then when Lehman Brothers and everything shit the bed, they shit it with it. But they, we could be watching the.
Jamie's got a good point. Yeah, we've been in pandemic lockdown for a year. Waiting an additional month is no big deal. I'm good.
Yeah. Interesting. Did you see? Obviously, you're a hockey guy. Did you see
Oh, so hold on before we there's
yeah.
I was going to ask you. So I can't remember if we've talked about this. Have you ever gotten into Rick and Morty?
Yes,
no, from a distance, but not in.
Okay. So I mean, same kind of thing. Like I avoided Rick and Morty like the plague for a long time, because everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's so much better than Futurama," and then I watched it and I was like, it's different than Futurama, but it is not better than Futurama. And then I've watched it again. Well, so laughably, the first time I watched it, I wasn't aware that every episode had a post-credit scene. And so then I had to go back and watch it a second time to get all the post-credit scenes in context. And everybody's like, "Oh my god, these seasons of Rick and Morty are taking forever to come out." Well, basically everybody that's involved in Rick and Morty does this other show called Solar Opposites. And the second season just came out. Dude, it's like Rick and Morty, but they're aliens, trapped on Earth. And I wasn't hugely into the first season.
Yeah.
But when I went back and rewatched it and then now watch the second season, it's good. It's worth a watch. It's on Hulu. I'd give it a shot.
Yeah, I saw the second.
I still got to finish season 9 of Letterkenny.
That's a big 10-4. That's a Texas size 10-4.
Somebody I had to meet
about,
some neighbors.
Oh, I was just going to say, did they continue the miniature people?
Yep, in the wall. Yep.
Okay, nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The best part of season 1 with those episodes.
I was finally able to quote Letterkenny. We had to meet with some neighbors. And the one guy's like, to be fair. Then I looked over at my neighbor and I go, to be fair. And I'm like, that's the one time I was able to quote Letterkenny, other than a Shoresy line.
I was like, yeah, you've actually been, you tug your balls? Like that's the line you're going with?
Give your balls a tug.
Give your balls a tug? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that same vein, though, so we've got Godzilla versus King Kong. Godzilla versus Kong is about ready to drop.
Wednesday.
Yep. And so, number one, we have the issue with all of the jackwads that are apparently flooding the reviews for Godzilla versus Kong.
I'm wondering how King Kong is the same size as Godzilla. It's driving me nuts.
Did he eat steroids? That's
shiza.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure they'll talk about it. He's still growing. He's a growing boy. He's a manja. He's a growing boy.
How many things can you? How many bananas can they eat?
They were radioactive bananas. It made them grow. But so you got the idiots that are flooding the reviews for all of for Godzilla versus Kong, because it's also attached to Warner Brothers and they want them to bring back the Snyderverse, and that's a whole thing. And so just people are being idiots there. But then you've also got my question was, so are you gonna watch they're gonna go back and watch Kong Skull Island and Godzilla King of Monsters again before this drops?
No, I've seen
them recently.
I definitely saw Kong, but I don't remember seeing Godzilla.
It was good.
It was really good. They a lot better than the Matthew Broderick one, which was a steaming pile of dew. No, I've seen, Skull Island. I've watched, you watch every now and then. I'm just, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great, but I want to know. I want that plot hole answered immediately. As to, did Godzilla shrink or did Kong grow?
I'm sure. I mean, Godzilla's old, but I'm sure it's that Kong grew.
He didn't drink enough milk, so he's getting a little bit of back.
He's got the whatever it is, not the arthritis, but the osteoporosis. So he's
got to drink milk. So now that my TV's been consumed by nothing but sports gambling. Every ad on YouTube is sports gambling.
Dude, every ad everywhere is sports gambling.
Well, so now it's interesting because, obviously the integrity of the game, and then a referee in the NHL got caught with a hot mic, and it was bad, and he got fired immediately.
So I saw that.
He got caught saying it wasn't much, but I wanted to get an effing penalty against Nashville early in the mic cuts out.
Yep.
Which kind of, it was always the gimme. We've been arguing about this for years. As a ticky tack, that was it was a makeup call. You know what I mean?
Oh, and that's the thing. So the supposition that some people have is that it's because of gambling online and because of more gambling on sports and that kind of stuff.
Well, it's going to be under a microscope now.
Yeah, but dude, I think everybody knows or like anybody who's actually ever been a serious hockey fan knows, there's a lot of carryover game to game to game, not just with the players, but also with the refs. That if you piss the ref off, they're going to make that ticky-tack call against you in that next game just to send a message that says, don't F with me.
See, the refs need to be like bartenders. If I'm in there.
No, dude, because if you're buddies with the bartender, you get the stronger pour. You're the jackwad, you're getting watered down drinks. So, no.
My point was, if you hear me talking shit on Tuesday, you can't hold it against me on Friday.
Oh.
It's safe zone. It's happy place.
That's right. That's right. If you had a problem with drunk me, you're gonna have to take it up with drunk me because sober me wasn't there. You can't come at sober me about that.
Right. When I come to the bar with 3 different women on 3 different days, you got to pretend that they're hey, nice to meet you.
You haven't seen me in months. Yeah.
I'm only saying that because my wife's in the room. I wanted to see you.
Mr. Waltenspiel, so good to see you again. It's been so long. Why come back?
Yeah, exactly.
The next night, Mr. Waltenspiel, why you been gone so long?
Hey. So I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Randy, I don't know the answer yet for you, but I know it for Dave. Would you get paid $2,400 to go screenless for 24 hours?
I could do it.
Yeah,
You lie. Dave lies to his teeth.
Dude, I would totally do it.
To not have your phone.
I would absolutely do it.
24 hours. You would be the most skittish crackhead.
I'm not saying I wouldn't develop a twitch somewhere during the course of that.
I think Randy could do it all day.
But like, if I could figure out like making sure that I had shows covered, making sure, and like, I'll sit down and like read and nap for 24 hours. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, make
so
a
you
nice
can apply.
meal
Actually, it's the 2021 Digital Detox Challenge on review.org.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna give me 24 hours to do nothing but like batch cook a lot of food, catch up on my reading, hang out with my kids, doing dumb shit. Yeah, I could totally do that.
Screenless means no TV.
I'm okay with that.
All right, it's reviews.org. Yeah, but basically you got to get chosen by orders. A safe you're gonna get a safe to store all your shit, along with a $200 Amazon gift card, but you can't buy anything. Safe. So they entice you. They give you a $200 Amazon gift card. They're like, you can't use your phone, you can't use your.
All right, so I gotta wait. So I gotta wait 24 hours to spend $200. Okay.
Yeah. To help create a techless survival kit. So you got to get like the Glenn Beck seeds and like.
Dude, it's a day. You're not going to like civilization isn't ending. It's not The Walking Dead.
I would be fine. It's you.
Oh, like I said, I freely admit I would develop a bit of a twitch, but yeah. Wait, okay. So caveats: would I be allowed to go to a bar that has TVs in them?
No,
even if I don't watch them.
Nope. Screenless.
Yeah.
And read. The radiation will permeate you. So
well, that's like, how do they verify this?
I don't know. And you want me to go back?
No, I'm just curious. Like, I'm wondering how they verify it because I mean, you've got jackwads that like me that have like multiple Facebook accounts, multiple whatever account. Like, how do you know I'm not doing it?
You have to submit your screen time report from your phone or tablets or whatever.
Oh, all right, done.
But what if you have a burner though? Yeah,
done.
Off-limit technology does not include your microwave, but includes cell phones, tablets, smartwatches, TVs, gaming consoles, handhelds, computer laptops, smart speakers, or smart vacuums, and any wearable tech.
Oh, I can't use my Roomba? Screw this.
You got to submit screen time reports to prove it. You can make popcorn though.
Whatever. I'm good. I totally could. I absolutely could.
So what is I was in Birmingham today. Had a jolly time.
Did you stop by the Rose Room and have yourself a little roofie colada?
No. But what I don't. So this article kind of perplexed me. Apparently, there's numerous. When I say numerous, it's over a dozen.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so for those not familiar, we're talking about a place called the Rose Room, which is sort of like the underground speakeasy component of 220 in Birmingham.
which is like the place to go in Birmingham.
Well,
not the Rose Room. The 220 is.
I mean, dude. Okay, so 220 has always been the Cougar / Sugar Daddy bar.
Sure.
Like that's
When you walk in, it's always like, what company? Like, am I a NASCAR driver or what? Yeah, we'd always like, it was the fake.
Dave, you're speaking Italian tonight. Go.
How big's dude? We always tried to get Tullio to say he was a Formula One driver, and he never would do it.
Oh, I remember.
He's like, oh no, I don't wanna. But like apparently, like girls would get like 2 drinks. All of a sudden,
so the consistent story throughout appears to be that somebody would come over with an already opened bottle of champagne. Because for what it's worth, usually you order a bottle of champagne, or they're like part of it is the show and the flair of the the opening at the table and all that.
Do that again.
At the table and all that. You didn't think I could do it, did you? But no, so it's somebody would show up at the table with an already open bottle of champagne, and there's a lot of girls that say they would get not even a full drink in, and they would start blacking out. They would lose consciousness. They would lose sensation. And I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I mean, about the situation that I went through a couple years ago. Where I got roofied by proxy because I took a drink off of somebody's drink who had been roofied, and how badly that messed me up. So I mean, I tend to take this shit super seriously because I know how badly I felt for the next 2 days as a result, and so like I can't even and the worst part is so again we're talking about 220. Cougars and sugar daddies, there's a lot of money in the room at any given point in time. So when it comes to these girls saying that they went to BPD, they went to the Birmingham Police Department and kind of got blown off, I don't necessarily find that super hard to believe.
The thing that I don't get is not that I'm an expert, because obviously I've never done that before, but what's the end game? I always thought it was, oh baby, let me help you home. And
how do you know they're not taking them to a back room?
Point taken.
Because that's the thing. If you that's the point. If you black out, God only, and they said, oh yeah, well, I'd wake up at home the next day. All right, well, God knows what the hell happened to you in a back room. And then they looked at your license and poured your ass in an Uber, or, gave you to somebody that got you home eventually. I mean,
but apparently there's a bunch of Google reviews and they all disappeared.
Yep. Which is less than cool. I mean, that's much, much less than cool on Google's part.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have to listen to both sides, right? Like,
yep.
They can't just be like, oh, it's, take the owner's word for it that it's a,
an isolated incident that happens, 20 times.
Or, no, it's what do they call it when the one woman didn't get her pita bread and bitched, and then
like a viral shit.
Brigading. Yeah. But yeah, they call it brigade. She got other people do it, but no, it's their individual reports.
Yelp has their unusual activity alert up for the venue too.
What does that mean?
It just says this business recently received increased public attention, which often means people come to this page to post their views on the news. While we don't take a stance one way or the other, blah blah blah. If you're here, make sure your review is based on a first-hand experience and not, opinions or things like that.
That's crazy. I heard. I saw a thing on Shark Tank. A couple of college girls invented it. It was like a. See, you can't do that though when it's the open champagne bottle. But it was like a Saran wrap thing with a straw that you'd put over your drink.
So that was we actually kind of made a little bit of a sad, dark humor joke about it 2 years ago when I think it was 3 girls at UCLA that developed a straw that would change color if it detected. Anything like, ketamine or, Rohypnol or anything like that in the drink. And then the state of California banned straws the next week.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it was a coincidence, but,
Screw the girls, save the turtles. How it goes.
Right.
There's also nail polish. You can dip your finger in, and if your nail polish changes colors, it'll identify like Rohypnol and stuff like that.
Interesting.
I always like the story of that safe drink. And I don't think any bars do it or have done it.
The angel drink. You're thinking of the angel drink.
Yeah, but it always sounded great in theory. But I don't think anyone actually. Maybe it has, and I just obviously haven't been around.
I know a couple bars around here that do it actually.
like legitimately, and it's been used, and
it is it
needs to be more widespread.
They put the notice up in the women's bathroom, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
So how do you know you have it? They don't have it if you haven't seen the inside of the women's bathroom.
No. Just usually like
no, Bob. I can guarantee you have been in a bar where that's a thing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm just thinking. I wish it would be done more widespread.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a phenomenal idea.
But I mean, the sad reality is you have to change it. Like you have to change the name every month because somebody's going to talk. The name gets out. And then the guy hears the girl order that drink, knows what's up, and bad things happen. So, I mean, that's the sad reality is even when you're trying to do something good like that, you have to stay on top of it and you have to keep rotating that out and all that kind of crap.
You can't be extra anchovies all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Are you buying Cinnamon Toast Crunch anytime soon?
Laughably, because my kid loves that cereal. There are 2 boxes sitting upstairs in the pantry, and I have checked them both. I did not find any. I did not buy cinnamon toast shrimps or cinnamon shrimp crunch, whatever you want to call it. And this story got real weird real quick.
Do you want me to give the summary? Want me to give the summary quick, and then you go into the details?
Sure.
So a man named Carp, married to a woman named Fischel, found shrimp tails in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. The cereal was purchased from the Costco on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, and his wife played Topanga on Boy Meets World. Meanwhile, Carp used to be a guest on a podcast called the Pistol Shrimp Podcast.
Dude, I'm just picturing that meme of the guy with the board full of like the conspiracy theory meme.
No, Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
No.
So I have not seen any follow-up to it.
So the story was, a guy finds what appear to be shrimp tails in his box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, posted on Twitter, things, hey, I'm a marine biologist, I'll genetic, and then, so it didn't help.
No, that's what I call marine biology.
That's what I call marine biology.
The thing about the shrimp tails, though, is they weren't just shrimp tails. They were coated with cinnamon and sugar, like baked on.
Like they had gone through the processing of creating the cereal. And I believe it's General Mills, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the manufacturer of the cereal, basically came back and said, hey, that sometimes the cinnamon gets crystallized and crystallized into certain weird configurations. That's all that is. And the guy's like, no, here's a picture. Those are shrimp tails. Like that's really a thing. And so they're like, oh well, and then the story just keeps blowing up, and you got marine biologists that are chiming in saying, hey, we'll DNA test it. You got this going on, that going on, and then. And here's I forgot this was a phrase because it was a phrase for a hot second. Well, then he got milkshake ducked, where suddenly he started going viral and out of control, and everybody started coming out of the woodwork about what an asshole this guy is. So sad to say that Topanga's husband is apparently an asshole who has stolen ideas, ruined people's careers. Basically run an art gallery to the point where people are afraid to do art shows there because he keeps stealing all the money from people. And it's
jealous because he's married to Topanga.
Who still, Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing, though. Like, I don't know. Typically, people don't go public with this kind of thing. Unless he just wanted it.
Oh no, I think a lot more people go public with this kind of stuff. Dude, I found a rat in my KFC, or I found dude, that's been a
finger in Wendy's chili.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot more people go public with it because of social media. It's just whether or not it catches on or not. But I mean, it's again, the sad reality is I think it was funny when you had the people that chimed in that were like, the sad part is like, I'm like, if you would have offered the guy like $300. The entire story would have gone away, and it would have been
coupons.
Well, dude, do you not remember what happened to you with your Alestra Pringles?
Yes, 2 coupons.
For those who have never heard the story, Bob ate some Alestra Pringles and
an entire can.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why it says may cause anal leakage. And so Bob wrote. I believe I helped you draft that letter. Wrote a phenomenal letter, sent it off to
very
Pringles.
Detailed.
A very extremely detailed letter. And they sent him back coupons. for
sorry you don't like
more.
our product. Buy some more.
Yeah,
Right.
for more Pringles. It was great.
That one and the KFC one always blow my mind. That I wrote KFC asking them if they're headless clones.
Yeah.
And they gave me like a book on the quality standards that they use.
They sent you their operations guide. That's amazing. But no, so I mean, it's, you know, so basically, and there hasn't been an update like in the last day or two that I've seen, because basically once everybody started coming out, and I mean lots of ex-girlfriends, started coming out of the woodwork, the story just kind of quietly went away. But yeah, I kind of want to know if they were actually shrimp tails or not, or like what the story was.
Oh yeah, then it's like, is he a serial abuser? And it's like, he looks like J.J. Abrams for one.
Cereal with an S, not a C.
Didn't even think about that.
He could be both, actually.
He could be both. So I love how the internet, dude, I'm not gonna lie. So I loved the original story because I agree with it, but I also loved all the follow-up that has happened after it, because I also agree with it, because it depends upon your venue and where you're going. So the Caucus Club, which is kind of an upscale place to eat.
Randy's a big fan.
Huh? Randy's
a big fan, by the way.
He's a huge fan of the Caucus Club.
Right.
I've never actually been.
I think they call him George Dukakis. Anyway, or no, it's Michael Dukakis. Oh, I screwed up my own joke. Anyway, so they put out this, social media post that basically said, hey, proper attire and smells are required. And then the owner doubled down and posted like, look, hey, don't come in here reeking of weed. Because it's an extremely pungent smell and that kind of, it's business casual at a minimum. Don't come in here in your sweatpants and that kind of crap, because, we're trying to create an upscale dining experience. And I get that. And so like, that's like, so I do, I absolutely agree with Caucus Club for being able to like have, because I've had to do that in the studio before, where like there have been people that show up just absolutely, the minute I open the door, I am hit with a reeking smell of weed, and I have to tell them, no, go either lose the jacket or air out before you're not coming in the studio like that.
See, now here's the thing that I don't get. This has been done. These signs have been going up for years at liquor stores and 7-Eleven saying no boober sock money, no pot jackets. Like, I remember at TGI Fridays had the no pot jacket rule.
Yep.
And like this guy's getting so much attention for it. And this has been going on for years and years. This isn't new. I don't know why. Is there an uproar?
But it's legal now, Bob.
So it's okay.
And so that's the thing, and that's the conversation. I wound up having a conversation with the show's guest, where I just said, dude, I don't give a shit if it's legal. I don't need my entire studio smelling like weed and it's soaking into the acoustic tiles, because it does. Because I got a show after. I got a show right after you.
It's the same rule, no bare feet.
Yeah, it's like, I got a show after you. What I got to do? I got to fumigate and air out the entire studio between. Get the hell out of here! No. And he wound up not coming on the show, and I was perfectly happy with it.
Bye.
Do not care. So yeah, but then you've got like Trixie's, nice fun little bar in Hamtramck. That is actually planning their reopening, laughably, for 420 is the day they're planning on opening, and they're planning, I forget what they're calling it, whether it's the Hamtranibus Cup or something like that. They're doing a thing with all of the dispensaries that have opened up in Hamtramck. And basically, if you make a purchase at one of those and then show up at Trixie's, you get a drink special and a vote on the best dispensary in the area and that kind of stuff. And so Trixie's posted like, no, we expect you to smell bad. Like we're a dive bar.
Eat a brownie like normal people, or a gummy. Like,
take a gummy. Yeah, it's
technology's gotten to the point where you don't have to smoke 3 bowls.
Yeah, dude, the vape pens are friggin' phenomenal. They knock you.
And if you get pulled over, you're not gonna smell it.
Yeah,
exactly. You really need to hotbox for 20 minutes out in the parking lot before you go in to eat dinner. Like, can you not do it after? Or
I mean, one would think not, but.
So, are you going to wear one of the nose-only masks for while eating?
No.
So I thought this was an Onion article.
I absolutely thought that this was going to an Onion-esque website when you sent it across.
Nope. And in the beginning there was a video.
I mean, it is New York Post, so.
But apparently, if you don't know, if you've never seen it, they have basically nose only gear. So it's like if you ever seen like the World War One, like the people that had like the face stuff, but they got their nose blown off, and there's just like a nose thing that they attach to their nose, which is a mask that you can still eat.
Yeah,
but it's I'm helping. It's your mouth is still open and plumes are still being emitted, but
Plus,
nose.
You don't really taste without a sense of smell. So if your smell is blocked, you're not really tasting what you're eating. So it kind of ruins the experience.
I'm looking at this is but I can't wait till when I see my first one, I will announce to everyone.
No, Tammy, you're not banning smoking. Get out of here.
Yeah, no. Go to Churchill's. Bars really should do a better job though in ventilation. I'm not gonna lie. Like the old days of.
Dude, that's why I was true. In fact, I had a good conversation with Jackie, the owner of Stray Cat back in the day. About I don't know, probably 8 months ago or so, where I truly did not understand why, if it's all about ventilation, why she couldn't open up. Because I mean, I don't know if you remember Stray Cat, but they have like the most super powered HVAC system in there known to mankind. Like you can literally be sitting next to somebody who's smoking a stogie and you will not smell it. Just because of how good that HVAC system is. So yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you.
So apparently we got something else to look forward to as the guy that did Game of Thrones got an 8-figure deal.
Oh my God.
To do his other books.
We're never going to get the next book. Not if he's doing all this TV stuff for millions of dollars now.
So what are they going to do? A great series for 7 years and have some trash ending again?
Like, well, I don't know. All 7 years were good.
Pat the Weirdo wanted to chime in and tell you it's the nose thing they attach to the nose. It's a phenomenal description, Bob.
How else are you going to describe it? It's the nose. It's you clamp it to the nose.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently the dude got 8 figures to.
So that's minimum what, 10 million?
Yeah.
Minimum, yeah. But what has HBO had? I mean, other than the HBO Max movies, they haven't had a series out since Game of Thrones ended, have they? That anyone's watched? Shameless is still on last season, but it's turned into hot garbage this year.
His Dark Materials.
Nobody cares.
Everybody going back and watching The Sopranos now. I
was tempted to go back to watch Entourage, but I know I would get stuck in the loop.
You would. You absolutely would.
And then, I'm Kenny Powers every now and then, but HBO hasn't come out with a good series in a while. So I guess I understand why they're throwing that money out.
Hey, have you Watchmen? That was only one season.
Which one?
Watchmen.
Watchmen was great.
Yeah, but one season. So they had it, but that's just like whatever else is over.
So, I always gave Amazon the benefit of the doubt. Hey, they're hiring people. Hey, they transformed the way we buy shit. Hey,
even after hey Macarena, what? Where are we going?
Hey Macarena. Hey, my uncles and everybody work 7/12s.
Even after the South Park episodes, you were still giving them.
Nah, I kind of was. Not saying I'm not going to anymore, but apparently saying it's documented now that they tell workers to pee in bottles. So so that's a thing.
Well, I mean, in their defense, that might be to keep it from going to the sewage treatment plant and tracking COVID outbreak.
Could be. No, they don't test people. They just go. But apparently, it's fully documented. And then obviously Amazon News comes out and says, you don't really believe the peeing in the bottles thing. That's theorist, because that's what all I have to say these days to debunk anything. Conspiracy theorist.
QAnon.
Actually,
so that's I believe it is on HBO Max, the Inside QAnon documentary. That's one that I want to dive into, and I just haven't had the chance yet.
I saw it this weekend. I was like,
Really?
I know it's just gonna be hot garbage. Piss me off.
And it was hot garbage that pissed you off.
No, I didn't watch it. I was going to click it.
Oh, I thought you said you saw it this.
Oh, no. But apparently.
So have you been watching the whole debacle that's unfolding with Nicole Curtis and the Detroit Land Bank?
Yes.
So that's an interesting one. Apparently, she bought a house. She thought from the homeowners in Detroit, and has thrown about 60 grand into work on it so far. But then along came the Detroit Land Bank saying, "Oh, by the way, we own that house, not
you
the
got,
people."
Yeah, you got scammed. You never bought title insurance.
Yeah,
that's what I understand it as. I might be wrong.
So, and that's how it all. That's how it appears to be. That the people who had turned, like, basically, the people had, because it had been an abandoned property for quite some time. The Detroit Land Bank had the title assigned over to it. But Nicole Curtis still bought it from the people who used to own it at that point, and paid the back taxes and that kind of stuff. So that was some of the money she threw at it, and is now going to court, basically saying, okay, fine, Land Bank, if you don't want to just let me have the house that I've already thrown all this money at, you should at least compensate me for the work that I've already done.
You would think the Land Bank would just say, okay, A, it's PR nightmare. B, she's a public figure. C, this is abandoned property. She already put 60 grand in it. Let's just sign the damn thing over. Instead, they're fighting.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, she'll never do another property in Detroit again, or at least not from the Land Bank.
Or it'll slow the process down incredibly. Yeah.
And now you have 50 other cities going, come to Flint, fix our shit.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
We'll give you 10 houses.
Come to Warren.
Right.
Come to wherever.
But like, how stupid and short-sighted for the city of Detroit.
I get doing things on principle. But oof, yeah, the optics. I'm not enjoying the way this is playing out.
No. So we've been talking about the chip shortage for a while. I didn't realize the impact was this big.
Oh yeah.
Apparently the auto plants I don't know exactly which one it is, in Windsor is going to be shut down for a month.
Yep.
Right now there's 18,000 workers at 5 plants. Warren, Belvedere in Illinois, one in Toronto, Ontario, one in Windsor, and then one in Mexico City that are literally shut down almost for a month. It looks like it's FCA or Stellantis, whatever the company name is now.
Right.
Yeah.
Will they stop changing the company name for crying out loud?
Oh, they're not just changing the name; they're selling the company to new owners.
It was Chrysler, and then it was Daimler Chrysler, then it was Fiat Chrysler. Then it was
I live right by it. It changes names like every 3 weeks.
Whoever's got the contract on building the signage on that building has got to be just happy as hell.
But it's still got the Chrysler emblem in the office in the top room, which I always wanted to see.
I never even went up there. I worked there for 5 years.
What is it? Is it an executive thing?
It's open to the public sometimes. It's like a what do you call it? Atrium, big open, high ceiling pillars.
Right. But just to be out of work from, like, I can't imagine, just because it's chips, just because people are buying so much shit because they're stuck at home. Like, that's really what it boils down to.
That's really what it comes down to. And it was funny because, like, one of the points in the article, they were saying, yeah, basically they're manufacturing the cars as far as they can, and then just not putting the chips in them. And I'm like I'm picturing the old movie Gung Ho, where like they would put as much together as they could, but like not put windows in just to get the number, and then push it out because they couldn't get, or they'd put the motor in and they would push it out. Yeah,
that's the thing though. You can't peel the car out and then put the chip, I don't know how to build a damn car, so I don't know where the
the reality there is, like, that tells you just exactly how technology dependent vehicles are these days, and more to the point, how much can go wrong in them. The days of the backyard mechanic are ending rapidly.
Well, the John Deere stories, you remember those?
Yeah, they were trying to get legislation passed that you couldn't work on your own shit that you owned. Yeah.
So I know, I don't think Randy will, but I know you will, Dave. Are you going to buy the Satan shoes with a drop of human blood in them?
I can't. They only made 666 pairs, and they were sold out in minutes.
Weren't they going for $1,000?
They gone. They gone.
Where did they get the blood from? That's what I want. That's all I cared about. Was it the workers into the Chinese factories making $1 a day?
Yeah.
They'd have to like basically slit their arm as each one of them had to.
Well, no, if you think about it, honestly, so 666 pairs, and they're made with a drop of blood. 666 drops of blood you could probably get out of a vial that you could take during
a Aztec sacrifice.
It's 1 drop per pair of shoes. It's not 1 drop for the whole batch.
No, 1 drop per pair of shoes.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a vial you get taken during a blood draw.
They did an Aztec ceremony, and they ripped the heart out and did what a nubshiba, and they ripped the heart out of a virgin, and then they spilled it on the shoes. And
I'm sorry, I don't know why this makes me laugh, but it's just the phrase. Brian wants a discount on a chipless whip. I just chipless whip just made me laugh, and so I
is that .com available? Secondary market on those
on chipless whips.
Yeah.
And then I think, and then Pat's on the same frame. Like I love that the little meme that Nas posted. He was like, "All right, you know what? Those fine. Here's the Chick-fil-A shoes." And I was like, I think that's hilarious.
Those are the sandals you wear in the summer, Dave. That's what those are.
I like my sandals. Shut up.
Jesus sandals. That's what those are.
Leave my sandals alone.
We'll get a little stamp. We'll get a little sticker and put a Chick-fil-A sticker on it. Your Jesus sandals.
My Jesus sandals. Cool. I'm all in.
Well, they could have a battle then. Nas and the Chick-fil-A, and it'll be like you could do celebrity death match.
Well, and they did those. They did the KFC Crocs. Last summer. So you got to bring those out and
get them on StockX.
And have. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. This one was more up your thing or more up your alley. So what was this about an NFL? Yeah, I could be talking to either of you right now. So there was an NFL trade that was leaked via Call of Duty.
Yeah. So apparently a guy on Reddit came out and said he was playing Call of Duty, and there was a female teammate. And, on Call of Duty, it's very easy to pick up the background noise. Like everyone always jokes, shut your damn kid up if there's a crying baby, or, but you can hear background conversations pretty damn clear. And you could hear someone in the background, a grown man, talking about a deal and how he'd love to play in Pittsburgh. So then the guy's like, okay, I'm sparking up a little more. And he's like, he tried to ask the woman, but she said her husband was an NFL player and wouldn't go any further. And he said, then he went and looked up her gamer tag. And then she had pictures wearing Chicago Bears gear. And then he was a Packers fan. And then it said, basically, you heard the guy saying, if nobody calls in the next 30 minutes, he's going to sign a 3-year deal to go to Pittsburgh. And then basically came out 30 minutes later that the Bears offensive lineman, his name's Rashad Coward, was him.
Huh.
Yeah. So his wife is an avid gamer, has a Twitch account, and she plays Call of Duty on the regular. But he said, he saw the Chicago Bears guy put God's plan on Twitter, he thought it was kind of cryptic. So he wrote this whole thing out on Reddit, and apparently for once on Reddit, something wasn't bullshit. But what a crazy place to listen
hilarious.
To. Usually and that's the funny thing. My joke right now is I go, if you think racism's gone, just wait till the game opens up at the end of a match on Call of Duty. I'm like, whoo, Jesus Christ.
Dude.
And it's not even,
there was that one story we talked about 4 or 5 months ago where a guy was playing Call of Duty, and just because of the kind of the icon picture and that kind of stuff he had posted, nobody he was playing with knew that he was black. And, he didn't quote unquote sound black. And so he wound up basically becoming gaming friends with the local chapter of the KKK.
Oh my God.
And so finally, and then one of them started looking at started figuring out who he was based on his gamer tag and that kind of stuff. And dug back and found him on Facebook, because it was funny because one of the guys was like, oh, dude, he's like, I got a sister, she's looking for a guy, yada yada. And then they all apparently at one point they all went quiet and went off into a separate chat and came back, and he was like, you Emmer effing I was gonna set you up with my sister and rah, and you're in whoa.
But it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. They're all pre-puberty kids with their voices, the ones that say all the nastiest, most vile. And it's I go, would we have done that when we were kids? Or I'd like to think not. It's not,
dude, we're you know what? I'm gonna buy your house and bang your mom if you don't shut up.
I said that. I said that 2 weeks ago. some kid's causing a ruckus, and he's like, "How old are you, old man?" And I said, "I'm old enough to buy your house and bang your mom." And I'm like, "God bless it, why did I do that?" Like, I shouldn't have done that. Now I just mute. Now it's like we don't play. Now it's just like literally it's me and Tulio and Mark, and we play, and maybe Neil and Joe if he comes on. But like I'm not playing with no one. We're not allowing anyone else. Just nothing good happens. Speaking of, I don't know if you could explain what passive racism is. I would love that because Captain Underpants just got banned for it.
One of the books, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it's the one where he goes and learns kung fu. But apparently they pulled it.
I feel like I'm going to need Greg to amplify on games were a mistake. I don't know.
Which
like in what context? I don't understand.
Jenga's not a mistake, Greg.
Like euchre. Like euchre's a mistake. I still don't know how to play euchre. I've been here for 25 years.
So apparently it's a pair of friends who time travel from 500,000 BC to year 22, and they meet a martial arts instructor, teaches them kung fu.
Okay.
And it's bad. He said the book was intended to showcase diversity and equality and nonviolent conflict resolution, but he's apologizing.
He says it contains harmful racial stereotypes and is wrong and harmful to my Asian readers.
According to him or according to his Asian readers?
According to him.
Oh. Yeah, that's someone brought up a point. It's like, who is it Bill Maher? It's like, who's not complaining about Dr. Seuss? He goes, China. Like, no one cares.
Right. No, and Tammy, no, it's a euchre problem. I don't, it's what, so euchre and Sweetest Day are two things that do not exist outside of the state of Michigan.
In this
dojo.
So
I don't think they should count.
I've never played a game of euchre in my entire life. Proud to say, I don't know. I've lived here my entire. I've been in rooms where it existed.
See, same thing, and I keep getting, hey, you want to jump in? And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know how to. Sure, like if you're gonna be, but people are always so serious about it, and so I'm like, no, I don't want to learn how to play because you're going to be an asshole.
I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. I never play. I'm not a card player anyway.
It's like dumbed down Pinochle.
Well, I don't know Pinochle.
No.
I've never been a cards person at all, ever. We don't do like I used to play like cribbage and bridge and spades and a bunch of others. Like I played a lot of cards, but like I said, euchre doesn't exist outside of Michigan. So
it does. I mean,
no, only places where people from Michigan have gone.
I mean, it came from Canada. It didn't originate in Michigan.
Canada's okay. The United States is what I
do. Have Go Fish at the casino. I lost $30 once.
On Go Fish?
Go Fish?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It was War. It wasn't Go Fish.
Oh, I was like... I was like, War, I've
slightly
seen.
better, though.
No, it was War. It was War. I thought it was the same thing. Do you have any sevens? Don't you have homes? Yeah, no. It was...
No, and that'll cost you another $20 chip. What?
Right. No, it was War. Yeah, I lost $30 playing War, which I could have bought 3 beers for that.
Yeah, right. Well, no, not in Vegas. That's 1 beer.
No, Detroit casinos, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, tonight, I'm just going to put it out there. I think we might have talked about it on the show before, but I can't remember. But the Facebook ad came up on my feed again today. If I catch you with a Bartesian in your house, I'm gonna A, have a lot of questions, and B, I'm probably gonna try to break it. Because apparently the whole shtick is it's like a Keurig, but you put little containers of alcohol around it, and then there's this little capsule, and then you tell it what drink you want and how strong you want it to be made, and then the little drinking Keurig makes it for you. I'm like, why can't you just learn how to make a drink? Like, why is that so complicated? Because it looks like it only makes 1 drink at a time anyway.
1 cup coffee makes sense. Pre-mixed drinks don't make sense.
No, because
these are the people that bought the $350 Margaritaville ice blender.
Most likely, yes.
That you could buy for the Ninja for $39. The Ninja. But this is $349.
Yeah, no, it's a hard pass for me.
You stock it with vodka, tequila, whiskey, gin, rum, as well as water.
But that's 5 spirits, and it only has 4 slots.
It only has 4
Gin,
slots.
it says gin-rum, so it's one or the other.
It's now we're back to cards. It's gin rummy.
Right. Once the cocktail capsule is inserted, it's identified. Prompts the user to customize the strength, ranging from mocktail to strong. Then press mix.
Just, dude, buy a copy of Mr. Boston, like, and learn
how many bottles of booze I could buy for $350.
No shit.
So it's a cosmopolitan like Keurig thing that you put in a little Keurig thing,
right? And I don't get why you wouldn't just like learn how to, dude. You could take you could take several craft cocktail making classes for $350.
And this is where reviews are bullshit. The first one is from Cindy K. We got a Bartesian for Christmas for our daughter and son-in-law. Best gift ever. So easy to use. And the cocktail varieties, everything we like and so much more. Such a fun item to have for parties, too. Everyone gathers around the Bartesian and has such fun selecting pods and strengths. We use it every evening to make a cocktail, you lush. Before we go outside to relax, weird. Can't say enough about how great this is. Bullshit.
Have I mentioned that we need to be bringing back worst meatball sandwich ever? Just saying, dude. Seriously, like I don't get it. I don't understand why it's. And personally, like I would rather just learn how to make a drink and make a good drink because like
drinks aren't hard to make.
Well, but here's the thing: like everybody can get a little intimidated because like, hey, I don't know really how to make, and I don't know how to make an old fashioned, or I don't know how to. Fine, then experiment and figure it out. And like figure out like 1 or 2 signature drinks that like you do really, really well.
It's like cooking.
Exactly. Dude,
I want to make a burger.
Dude, I've said it since college. Like every guy needs that dish that from finding out a girl is coming over to 30 minutes later, you can have a kick-ass meal prepped, done, and ready to go.
That's the one thing. If you ever walk down like the frozen section at Meijer or Kroger or whatever, and you see like the burger, like the microwave burger, and just like
it's the burger in the bun,
yes,
already, and you just got
all of it.
Like what? Like how destroyed is your life that you don't have time to like just take a frozen burger and cook it?
A breakfast sandwich I get because I'm racing out the door. I want to put the Jimmy Dean thing in. That one I'm not going to give anyone grief over. But
I'm not going to lie, dude. And those like the breakfast bowls, those are good.
I was doing the egg where you crack 2 eggs in the thing.
Those are great
stuff. Yeah, I was down with those.
The ones that come with a cup of liquid egg in them too aren't terrible.
No,
aren't all eggs liquid?
It's okay. It comes with a cup of scrambled
of faux.
The game changer egg. Though, frozen rally fries, air fryer, game over. You can get rally fries at the frozen section at grocery stores, and you put them in the air fryer. Yeah, so we made adult sliders on Saturday or Sunday, I forget.
What are adult sliders?
So it's basically you make it like a slider, but you could use a real size burger bun.
Oh. But, so I'm like you're infusing alcohol. Like I don't.
No, I do. I get the King's Hawaiian rolls. You toast.
They were
them.
served topless. Like I don't.
No, it's like it's like a smash burger, and then you take a big thing of onions, and then you sweat it down in beef stock, and then you cook it on the iron skillet with a lot of butter. They're really good for you.
Absolutely sounds like it.
We mixed. We took 2 pounds of beef and mixed French onion soup mix with it, and that was awesome. I highly recommend that as well.
You gonna get yourself a freedom bracelet, Bob?
No. That's been the running joke with a few of my friends because it's like it's the Drake meme. It's like voter ID, freedom bracelet, like it's like come on, give me a break. Like so now, wait, hold on, I lost where that article was. But this is only in Israel right now.
Right now, yeah. All right, I'm gonna go refill. I'll let you tell the story.
I can't find it, so I'm gonna sit here not knowing where I am. Randy, do you know where it is?
So it says that Israelis returning to the country who have not had a vaccine can isolate at home so long as they accept a Freedom Bracelet. It's a GPS device that tracks their movement to ensure that they don't break any quarantine rules.
Oh, so it's the non. I thought it was. It's a tracking if you're not vaccinated.
Yeah.
Holy 1984 Batman.
To make sure that you're staying quarantined. So, you say you're quarantined, but you go eat at 3 restaurants.
Oh, but it's only ones returning from the country. It's not for everyone. All right.
Yeah.
I don't hate it as much now.
Yeah, entering Israel.
Yeah, that I get. Okay, never mind. I was like getting really like George Orwell angry.
No, it's if you leave and come back and don't quarantine.
I get it.
And do come back.
The fact that they're giving people ankle tethers though that aren't vaccinated is.
I mean, if you think about it, it's not like this is unheard of. We've talked about this with Fred before, where like in Taiwan, like if you land there, you are forced to install an app on your phone, and you are forced to quarantine. And if your phone dies and they lose contact with you for 20 minutes, the cops show up at your door to find out what the hell's wrong with you if they see you leave your hotel room because of the app on the phone has like enhanced geo-tracing. It's not like this is anything terribly new. I think it's probably just the next evolution of it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I see why they're doing it.
No, like I said, I thought it's returning to the country. I don't want to say it makes sense to me, but I get it.
Apparently, Brian's not a huge fan of the frozen White Castles.
So I use those, Brian, for my White Castle roll.
The castle roll.
So I take 12 of them. You got to get the hamburgers, not the cheeseburgers. You put them in a baking dish, and then you pour 3 cans of Skyline chili over the top of that, and then a pound of cheddar cheese, and then you bake it for like 25, 30 minutes. They're all little pre-cut little White Castles and chili and White Castle roll. Again,
super healthy.
It's a Super Bowl favorite at the Walton Spiel House.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty damn delicious too. And I get the frozen ones for my White Castle stuffing at Thanksgiving. Yeah, where you cut them in cut it like tic-tac-toe, and then you mix it up with the stuffings, fixins, and the stock, and the celery and the onions, and then you bake it. And you don't even know it's White Castle, and it's delicious.
Life with Bob.
Exactly. Clam strips, though. The clam strips are the hangover cure, though. The clam strips and orange drink are like hands down like the hangover cure of the ages. But every time I get the onion chips, though, I was sick the whole next day of my stomach. So I've banned onion chips from White Castle, but the clam strips are still on the menu. Yeah. Okay. And then the chicken, the spine meat, I don't like those either. The onion rings. Where else do you get an onion ring or a chicken ring? Yeah. It's around the spine. It's spine meat. Gross.
Nothing wrong with that. We got anything else?
No, life is good.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody's staying safe. Don't be stupid, for the love of God. You doing anything for Easter?
No, we're family. Half my family has the Rona, so they're isolated.
Oh.
So I think my parents wanted me to come over, and we're trying to talk them out of it, but they insist. Stubborn Germans. So yeah, no, we might just end up there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hey, I guess that brings this fun and excitement to a close.
We're going to wrap things up for episode 393. On behalf of Bob, Dave, and Randy, do us all a favor. Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. See you next week. Drive careful. Be safe. Beat it.